Good evening and welcome to Nite Line. I'm your host, Dante Thompson, and I got my little boy here with me. Say hey, Wyatt. Hi. I'm babysitting tonight for him, and but we got to have a good program tonight. We got Sherry Ann in the building today, and she's going to be singing and blessing us with music. And her mother's going to be on with us this evening, Sharon LaBella, and she's going to be sharing. She's a biblical counselor, and it's going to be a good first hour. And then in the second hour, we got music by Josh Paul, and he's from up in North Carolina, and he's going to be also sharing about his Appalachian project that he's got going on. So going to be a good 2 hours of a lot of music, and it's going to be really fun. Why, are you going to have fun tonight? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want to tell people to call in? Yeah. Yeah, they need to call in with their prayer requests, don't they? Yeah, you can call in 244-1616, or if you're watching online, and you can call in toll free 800-849-3683, or you can just go to our website, wbroadcasting.com, and submit your prayer requests on there and your praise reports. We love to hear from you with your praise reports. I also want to encourage anybody. You giving them a thumbs up? Yeah. I want to encourage if you're interested in being part of a prayer ministry, our prayer partner program is wonderful, and I think you'll be blessed by it. We got a lot of people that come up here and volunteer all during the day and at night during Nite Line, and they're always blessed, more blessed than there being a blessing. That's for sure. They always tell me that. So if you're interested in that, call Wanda Mabe. She's our prayer partner coordinator. You can call her just any time during the studio our office hours, 244-1616, and be part of that. So, Wyatt, what are we going to do tonight? I don't know. You don't know? So we're going to have some music. Mm-hmm. You like music? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's going to be a fun night. I want to encourage you to call in and call your friends and neighbors and tell them to watch tonight. But right now, let's go to Sherry Ann. She's going to sing us a song, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking with her.
Stood alone and gazed upon a canyon dark and steep, stranded by my own mistakes, so far from hope it seemed. But there upon a distant hill I saw a rugged tree, reaching out from the other side to come and rescue me. God made a way to help me cross the great divide. Love built a bridge to take me over that gulf so deep and wide. Because of Calvary, I'm redeemed. My past is far behind, and I'm saved today. God made a way. My heart is set, I won't forget the life I lived before. I've come too far to turn around, so I'm living for the Lord. In this land of blessing, where His mercy overflows, I am safe on the side of grace, and it's still a thrill to know God made a way to help me cross the great divide. Love built a bridge to take me over that gulf so deep and wide. Because of Calvary, I'm redeemed. My past is far behind, and I'm saved today. God made a way. God made a way. Oh, He forgave me of all my sins. God made a way. I give all the praise to Him. God made a way to help me cross the great divide. Love built a bridge to take me over that gulf so deep and wide. Because of Calvary, I'm redeemed. My past is far behind, and I'm saved today. God made a way. Oh, I'm saved today. God made a way.
explode and bring the dead to life. Love so bold and start a revolution somehow. Let love explode and bring the dead to life. Love so bold and start a revolution somehow. Now I'm lost in your freedom. And this world will overcome. And my God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. Roaring, yeah, he's roaring. He's roaring like a lion. Ooh, he's roaring. Yeah, he's roaring. He's roaring like a lion. Let hope arise and make the darkness hide. My faith was dead, I need a resurrection somehow. Now I'm lost in your freedom. Yeah. In this world, well, I'll overcome. And my God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside.
All righty, thank you so much, Sherry, for singing that. It's a wonderful song. She's going to be singing with us all night, her and Josh Paul. And but now she's joined us over here on the set, her and her mother, Sharon LaBella. Thank you so much for being here. Reverend Sharon, you came with Sherry Ann last time you were here, and we knew we had to get you on. Tell us, of course, let's go back to, in case anybody missed it, when you were down with me in Down Home Gospel. Sherry, you've been singing all your life, but you were born mostly deaf, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Partially deaf, hearing impaired. The interesting thing is it wasn't picked up, though, until I was about 5 years of age. So speech patterns had already set in. And I was actually struggling and failing out of school because it wasn't picked up. And part of the reason it wasn't picked up, my mom will share that part, I'm sure she'll share why that wasn't picked up.
Well, how was it raising Sherry Ann?
Well, it was difficult for Sherry Ann more than it was for me, because I think because of the lifestyle that we were living, and of course when we tell our story and we give our testimony of overcoming, we don't do it to blame anything. We do it to show the power of the risen Christ.
Right.
And to show how he can bring victory from a place of defeat and disappointment and hopelessness.
Yes.
And so Sherry Ann was born into that type of environment. And so because I was fighting my own battles with that, I went into denial mode for the first 5 years of her life.
Wow.
And I'm a registered nurse now as well as a biblical counselor, so I work with the body, soul, and spirit. And as I look back on that, I didn't have those skills, but I knew there was something wrong with her. And I didn't want to address it because I was too busy fighting for my own survival. And so when I recognized by the school nurse and they brought it to my attention that she was hearing impaired, it was very difficult to overcome that shame, that guilt, because I was very strict with her because I thought she was a problem child. I didn't realize she was a child with a problem. And so I disciplined her harshly for things that were not her fault. And so not knowing the Lord, not being saved, the guilt and the shame was monumental in my life.
Yeah.
But after I met the risen Christ,
Well, tell us when he came into the picture.
he came into the picture when Sherry Ann was in her late teens for me. I was going to school to become a registered nurse at the age of 42.
Wow.
And in that time, I was the oldest person in my class. Now everybody does it, but back then, I won't tell you how many years ago, but back then it was, I was one of the oldest people. And while I was in nursing school, there was a woman that I sat next to that was observing me, observing my behaviors, and noticing that I was very sad, very thin. Of course, that's not a problem now.
I've never had that problem.
Never had much to eat, and she noticed me. And when I first sat down in class, I had a little pin on that I had gotten through a party, and it was the only thing that was $1. I really didn't want it, but it was $1, and it was all I could afford. And it said, "Jesus is the reason for the season."
Wow.
And she said, "I like that pin." And I took it off, and I said, "You can have it. It means nothing to me."
Wow.
And that was the beginning of her assignment from heaven. And she began to witness and minister to me, and that's when I received the Lord in nursing school.
Could you tell a difference in her life when she got saved?
Yeah, I definitely could. But it's a process. You know, I sang Just a Closer Walk with Thee. It's a process of walking closer with the Lord daily. The Bible says to work out daily your salvation. And so for both of us, it was a process because we only grew up in a home of dysfunction, of yelling and screaming. Now, naturally, we're Italian, okay? So that's a natural trait. Then I'm hearing impaired, so there's yelling because of that. Then there's dysfunction, so there's yelling because of that.
Wow, yeah.
So you went from constant calamity and yelling to learning about the fruit of the Spirit and the gifts of the Spirit, self-control and kindness and patience. And we would be lying if we didn't both tell you that we're still working on that to this day because there's so many years of the old man.
Right.
But the beauty is that he can wipe away, as I sang in a song, To Be Forgiven, he wipes away our past and resurrects up a new life. And so, yes, we see where we're trying to learn to be patient with one another, to try to exercise self-control.
doesn't always happen. We're not perfect.
Well, we're human.
We're saved by grace.
That's it.
You know?
Exactly. Well, when Sherry told you that she wanted to sing, what did you think about that? I want to hear about that story.
I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy because I knew the struggles she was facing on a daily basis with school and just learning to overcome, even in a social environment like this, and always being kind of on the outside. Unless she does a lot of talking and can control the conversation, she has a hard time. So with those obstacles, and now you want to sing? And for me, it was like not on my watch, because I am not going to have people continually make fun of you. So I was not supportive.
Did you get made fun of? I mean,
You know, now it's interesting because there's so much being done about bullying. And when I look back, sure, yeah, there were times when I was bullied, times when I was punched in the stomach and things like that. Has to do with a lot of reasons. Again, I think I had a lot of, if you want to say, dysfunctional personality flaws because of all the different things we've talked about, growing up with all those challenges. And so, yeah, I think some of it was just my boisterous or loudness or my demonstrative behavior. But more than anything, you know, sometimes I have like outbursts of anger, things like that from childhood. But more than anything, it was because of the way that I spoke. And so I would be reduced to tears on a number of occasions. And I remember, and this is a true story, I was now 16. I was candy striping. We used to have candy striping once upon a time. So I'm giving away my age
I don't even
now.
know what that is. So
It's like, they're like little nurses' assistants in a way, but they had uniforms. They actually had to wear these little candy stripes. They had stripes on them, so candy stripers. We were little uniforms in the hospital, and we did a lot of the stuff that maybe now a CNA would do, a nurse's assistant would do. And we did it for volunteerism and to learn how to serve, right? So think about that. So here I am learning to serve and serving, and a girl comes up to me and says, "Ew, I don't like the way you talk," just like that. And my mom is a very strong woman, and by now she's learning to be a strong woman of God, and she's always taught me to assert for myself and to be bold, and now I'm learning to be bold for Christ as well. And I remember saying to her at that exact moment, I said, "You know, God made me this way, and there's really nothing I can do about that. This is the way I speak, and I've taken speech therapy and all kinds of things, but basically this is who I am." I said, "But God didn't make you with that attitude, and you can change that."
wow.
End of conversation.
I bet she didn't say a thing after that.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I did get picked on and things like that, and it did hurt, and it still does.
You know, I remember one of the things, too, that she came home crying with me. People would say to her, they would talk to her, and she wouldn't respond appropriately or even at all. Or she would continually say, "What did you say?" And people would say to her, "What are you, deaf?" And I said to her, "You need to say, 'Yes, I am.'" Just, you know, stand for who you are, no matter what. And I remember saying to her, "Sherry Ann, God didn't make you to fit in. He made you to stand out." And that was before I even knew the Lord.
Wow.
He was using
Yeah.
himself through us even before we knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to learning to sing. You obviously had to go through somebody to teach you and to train you and everything. Was that hard for the music teacher? Is that a special type of thing, or is this a normal music teacher that taught you how to sing?
Well, so I have to give credit to my speech therapist. Two of them that I remember. I had two awesome speech therapists that actually taught me how to pronounce words. So that's the first battle, is pronouncing the words properly. And 7 years of that. And I am from upstate New York, but the joke is 7 years of speech therapy, and I still talk like I'm from Brooklyn. So, but I did do that. And so, and then music was just something that was innate to me, something I loved, something it's interesting that even the totally deaf respond to music. They feel the vibration in terms of, and they'll move in their seat with the vibration. And I think it's interesting that people who are hearing impaired or deaf love or respond to music and sound in some ways. Some can. And so I was loving music and going to school and choir in all county and kind of excelling in music, and took an instrument for a short time. Approached her with "This is what I'm going to do, Mom," and she said, "No, it's not." And so we went that route. And so I ended up becoming a chiropractor because I excelled academically. As she said, I stood up for myself and pursued and prevailed and went through school and just kept to myself, felt like I didn't need friends, became a little bit of a loner in some ways, isolated in some ways, and focused on my studies. As time went on, I broadened my interest and got involved in a lot of things, became an award winner of a lot of things, acting, drama, all of that started to come into play. And I said, okay, Mom, try this again. I'm going to do this. And she pushed me academically again, become a chiropractor. And what happens is now I go off and go to gospel concerts. And at the gospel concerts, I would go to Gaither events and Gaither concerts. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. This is it. This is it. I'm going to sing for the Lord. Surely the Lord will accept me and my voice. And so at that point, I started taking voice lessons. Regular voice teacher, Holly Weiss, outstanding. I've been working with her for many years now. It was a challenge for her to say, how am I going to help a hearing impaired girl hear pitches? So I have 2 hearing aids, very powerful. She would go to the piano, hit the notes, and make me spit it back. And basically it was what we call muscle memory. I had to learn to memorize that note, and I had to go after it and do it the same every time. So for me, it's something called muscle memory is really kind of how I do it. And we learn together. My teacher as well has a disability that she's overcome. And so together, we've been able to push and pull back when we need to and encourage, a lot of encouragement, and she's done that for me.
Awesome.
So here we are singing for the Lord.
Well, last time you were here, you were still a chiropractor. Are you traveling full-time now, or are you still a chiropractor?
In my opinion, yeah, definitely traveling full-time. I consider it very full-time, but having said that, I have a practice about a day and a half a week.
Okay.
Because my office is quite a mission field. When you have somebody's neck in your hands, you can tell them all about Jesus,
Right.
And they all believe and have faith at that moment. And we adjust them. And a lot of my patients have come to know the Lord because I feel that it's a greater mission field sometimes in those kind of settings than in a church setting where maybe people have heard about the Lord for a long time.
Right.
But in my office, they haven't. And so I still do that about a day and a half a week because my patients don't want me to go yet.
Yeah.
But yes, full-time ministry is my heart.
And if I remember right, you were, 21 when you got your doctorate or
24.
something? 24. I knew you were young, and I was thinking,
24.
my goodness, I barely got an associate's degree when I was 24 years old. So, well, Sharon, let's talk about your ministry now. You are Reverend Sharon LaBella. Tell us about what you kind of do. Of course, you're traveling with your daughter some, or you travel with her everywhere?
I try to travel with her as much as I possibly can. Because I'm not a fan of traveling, but I am a fan of hers. And I do like to see what God is doing and how he's using her, and people's hearts and lives are changed.
Right.
And because I'm a biblical counselor, that's what we do. I do it from a speaking platform. She does it from a singing and speaking platform. But basically, I help people through core issues, core values of what I had to come through. When I went to school for counseling, I remember one of our doctors said, you're not going to be a good counselor until you become a good counselee. So we had to do all the things we asked people to do. We had to learn how to forgive, how to deal with shame, how to deal with guilt, how to become that new creature that Christ promises us that we can be. And so most of the time people struggle with all of those values, those inner values. Unforgiveness is huge.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, unforgiveness, it can rip you apart from the inside out.
And it does.
And the person that you're holding that grudge against, it does nothing to affect or hurt them.
Not at all.
You're just hurting yourself. So
Yes.
How do you have to learn, or how do you teach somebody to forgive? I mean, I've had things happen in my life, and I've forgiven people. But I mean, when you go through, let's say murder or rape or something just heinous that somebody does to you, how do you teach somebody to forgive somebody like that?
I think you have to be really gut honest with them. At least that's what I had to do for myself. And I had to really come to the realization that I cannot do this. I cannot. And when I recognized that that was okay, and realizing that the Christ in me could, then I began to teach. My prayer for me was, I can't. He can. I think I'll let him.
There you go.
And so I let the Christ in me do the work, because he did.
Exactly.
He did. And so it's saying to somebody, I understand. I know you can't. And that's okay. But he can if you'll let him. And so this is basically what my ministry is. Letting the power of Christ work through people's lives and not thinking that we can do it at all.
Right.
And healing from the inside out. In nursing, we have a phrase that's called tertiary healing. When you have a big gut wound, a wound that's from the inside deep, you have to heal them by packing that wound from the inside out. Tertiary healing, and that's the way it heals. That's the way we heal spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, from the inside out.
Wow. Well, let's take a break for a couple of songs. Josh is going to sing and you're going to sing. So, and tonight is going to be a lot of music. But when we come back, we're going to talk to Sherry Ann and her mother and learn a little bit more about them. So don't go anywhere. Listen to these wonderful songs by Josh.
Calmer of the sea and holder of my soul, I know you're holding me. Lord, don't let go, don't let go of me. I know you're guiding me down this winding road, and I will wait for you. Well, tell me where to go, where do I go from here? Let the house of fear bow to its knees. Walking with the King of Kings. There's a fire deep inside my soul. It won't let me stop, it won't let me go. It's the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. He is my shield and he is my sword. I'm a world changer, a history maker. I don't back down in the face of danger. My God, my rock, my Lord is calling me to set the captives free. Yeah, yeah. And I will lift my voice and call upon your name. You alone are God, and only you can save. Only you can raise. You raise the dead to dance and cause the blind to see. With a single touch, you make the mute to sing. The mute shall sing your praise, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. With the word of God, I cannot fail. I will not fail. There's a fire deep inside my soul. It won't let me stop. It won't let me go. It's the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. He is my shield and he is my sword. I'm a world changer, a history maker. I don't back down in the face of danger. My God, my rock, my Lord is calling me to set the captives free from death and free from shame, free from the power of the grave. He's got the name above all names, the power to break every single chain. He's the one that came and he rescued me. He's come to set the captives free. And there's a fire deep inside my soul. It won't let me stop, it won't let me go. The King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. He is my shield and he is my sword. I'm a world changer, a history maker. I don't back down in the face of danger. My God, my rock, my Lord is calling me to set the captives free. My God, my rock, my Lord is calling me, yeah, to set the captives free.
So long I had search for life's meaning, enslaved by the world and my greed. When the door of my prison, it was opened by love, for the ransom was paid, I was free. Oh, I'm free from the fear of tomorrow. I'm free from the guilt of the past. Oh, I've traded my shackles for a glorious song, and I'm free, praise the Lord, free at last. I am free from the guilt that I carry, from the dull, empty life I set free. For when I met Jesus, He made me complete. See, He forgot the foolish child that I used to be. Oh, I'm free from the fear of tomorrow. I'm free from the guilt of the past. Oh, I've traded my shackles for a glorious song. I'm free, praise the Lord, free at last. Oh, I've traded my shackles for a glorious song. I'm free, praise the Lord, free at last. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Thank God we are free at last.
Well, I look at the mountaintop and I wonder, how in the world do I get from here to there? You say cast your care. There's no beaten path, it's hard to follow. From where I'm at, it's getting hard to see. You say follow me in all my ways. I will trust in you. You never leave me nor abandon, never failed or left me stranded. You're the reason I'm still standing, reason I can lift my hands and praise you through the mess that I'm in. Wake up every day and know that I'm okay and I'm on my way. Well, I look at the night sky so full of wonder. How in the world do you look at me and see all you say you see? Oh, and all my ways I will trust in, I will trust in you. You never leave me nor abandon, never failed or left me stranded. You're the reason I'm still standing, reason I can lift my hands and praise you through the mess that I'm in. Wake up every day and know that I'm okay, and I'm on my way. Shake what needs to be shaken. Lord, take what needs to be taken from me. Have your way, God, have your way, God, have your way in me. You never leave nor abandon, never failed or left me stranded. You're the reason I'm still standing, reason I can lift my hands and praise you through the mess that I'm in. Wake up every day and know that I'm okay. I know that I'm okay. I know that I'm okay, and I'm on my way.
All righty, I hope you've been enjoying the music. We're going to continue our conversation with Sherry and Sharon. And Sherry Ann, you've been writing songs for a long time too. Did you start writing before you started singing?
Oh gosh, I've been writing for a long time. And I always joke that I've been writing on napkins for most of my life. You're somewhere, you have a thought, you have a hook line, as they call it, you write it down. But I started with poetry. It's interesting because even though we didn't get to know the Lord personally until we came through some tragedy in child, I heard about God as a young child. And one of the first pieces I remember writing was a poem about Jesus. And my mom has it as a card. And it said something like, sugar and spice is nice, and Jesus loves you up above, and surround yourself with God's love. I mean, I was like 6 years old, but I was writing about Jesus' love. And I saw your little boy here and how precious, and it's real small, and writing about Jesus. And so, wow, interesting to see what he's doing, because now we're writing songs about Jesus. In fact, I Only Know to Pray and singing this song to you, which I, on the program tonight, those are songs that I wrote.
Wow.
And I love it because it allows you to express your voice in a different way, obviously a written way, but then it can be conveyed into voice. It can be put into a book. So that's the next thing I'm doing, is taking my thoughts. I've put some stuff out there vocally and song. Now we're going to put together a book and put my thoughts in a book, probably called Reflections with Sherry Ann. We're in the process of putting those reflections together, the thoughts, devotions, poems. Some of them are, I'm going to try to dig up that poem from when I was 6. That would be fun. Yeah. And then I think you still have that, maybe. You still have that. And then I'll put in some lyrics. What I think is neat about it is that, especially when you write a song, the Bible says no temptation has come to you except for that which is common to man. I think so many of our experiences are shared, whether maybe you're not hearing impaired, so you didn't share that experience, but maybe you've been bullied for something else, or maybe you've overcome something else. So when you write these thoughts in a song about the Lord coming to save you, basically from yourself, or in the song I Only Know to Pray, when you just don't even know what to do about a situation, we can always pray and call upon his name. And so I think people, maybe they can't relate to the situation of purity that I was writing about in the song, but they can relate to, I don't know what to do with the situation. It's out of my control. It's out of my hands. I only know to pray. I'm going to pray to you. So I like songwriting because I think it really allows a lot of people to say, hey, we're not alone in this world. We all share common struggles, hurts. We all have things that make us happy and sad. The Psalms. I love the Psalms. That's what it is, the high points and the low points of life. And the Psalms is really a book of songs.
Right.
So I'm really enjoying the exploration of this writing world.
Yeah.
I really hope to do more of that.
When will your book be complete?
With the
Hopefully.
Lord's help and Lord willing, I want to have it ready for sure by Mother's Day next year. but even perhaps possibly Christmas time this year. I have a publicist that I'm working with, and she's waiting on me. And if I wasn't traveling so much, I could get more of that to her. But I'm thankful to be traveling, and the book is making its way over for the first round of editing. And I've also written 2 children's books.
Really?
So again, love to
Oh,
see
that's
your
exciting.
child Wyatt here,
Yeah.
because one of the books is about a boy named Wyatt.
Oh, wow.
So I'm really excited to be getting those out. Maybe we'll get those out by Christmas time.
Awesome. Well, I want to be on the first list of that,
Absolutely.
especially for Wyatt. You know? So, well, if anybody wants your CD, A Closer Walk, they can go to sherryann.com. The books will be available on there when they come out.
When they
I'm
come
sure.
out.
How many albums do you have out?
I have 4. That's actually my 3rd, because the one after that is a Christmas CD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, hopefully we can get you back in here for Christmas sometime to do
Oh,
some
great.
Christmas music. But if you're traveling a lot, you're going to be in Pigeon Forge
Yes.
in just a couple of weeks at the National Quartet Convention. I want to invite everybody that's watching, make it up there. This is, I think, the 3rd year it's been in Pigeon Forge, and it's real easy for us. You know, it's less than 3 hours away, something around there. And for a lot of people in our viewing audience, less than that, you know. So everybody can get up there, and you're going to be singing up there, and you're going to have a booth up there this year.
Yes, I'm
That's
excited.
exciting.
The first time to have a booth, 408 in the ballroom. And also, I will be singing at Dollywood this year.
Really?
So excited about that. That's September 30th. 3 shows at Dollywood.
Wow. Now, will that be at the Hall of Fame there? Or?
Well, the Southern Gospel Hall
Or
of
they
Fame is
have the-
located in
yeah,
Dollywood,
yeah.
and it'll be on one of the stages, Southern Gospel Harvest Fest, Valley Theater.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be there, 3 shows.
And then any other events that you got coming up, people can always go to the website for.
Yeah, I'll be singing at the NQC on Thursday, and all my times and locations, places, everything's on the website.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about gospel music in general, because y'all are from New York. and
Yeah.
Is gospel music is it alive up there? I know down here, of course, we got our Southern gospel,
Yeah.
we got our bluegrass gospel, and our quartets and everything. But is gospel music alive in New York?
I'll let Sherry address that, but I do want to say because of her in New York, it's becoming alive.
Good.
Really, they're coming out to see her and they're loving it.
Yeah.
Well, I get to add one more title to my hat, I guess. In addition to being gospel singer, writer, chiropractor, I'm also becoming kind of like the promoter in New York.
Excellent.
So we've done a number of Southern Gospel concerts up in New York that have really, a number of the Gaither homecoming artists have come on up. We've had the Booth Brothers, Gordon Mote, the Collingsworth family, the Hoppers, all dear friends of mine. I've worked with a lot of them on my CD project, brought them up to New York, and people are saying, "What is this gospel music?" Because they know contemporary,
Right.
you know, and black gospel. We got New York City, so there's some black gospel. In fact, I'm doing a black gospel. Jesus, what a wonderful child was one of the black gospel songs that I sang here on the program. But it's a good mix now that we're starting to get by bringing the Southern Gospel up there, and people want more of it, which I'm thrilled.
Wow.
So I think kind of pioneered the way for some of that Southern
That's
Gospel
cool.
a little bit.
Well, you mentioned the Gaithers. You started listening to the Gaithers. Is that kind of what drew you to? Have you been on with the Gaithers yet?
I have done a couple of interesting things. Linda Randall did a Feed the Children special way back with the Wilmington, Delaware Choir. Is that how you say it? Delaware Wilmington Choir. I always say it's not Delaware. That's the state.
I know what you're talking
It's
about.
the
but
Wilmington Celebration Choir.
That's it, yeah,
So
yeah.
I always put Delaware with it because of Wilmington. But no, they're not from there. But they're actually from North Carolina. So I've sung with them on the TV special. Open for a number of them in some different places. The Hoppers and the Booth Brothers, Gordon Mote. So a lot of fun opening with them, and NQC. I had the opportunity to share the stage with them there too. Collingsworth as well. So have not been on the videos other than in the audience. If you watch the Billy Graham Tent Revival, and you watch that one, you'll see me in the audience a couple of times praising and clapping, and but that would be something that would be really enjoyable to do more of.
That's got to be a hoot for you, because, I mean, did you ever think that when you started listening to Gaithers and watching the homecoming videos and now you're singing with a lot of people that's on there, and I mean, I've never even been in the audience, so that's more than I've been. You know, did you ever think that?
You know, I think,
That's
and
so
a lot
cool.
of times when I'm with these artists, and I'll just be overcome because I'll say to think that a hearing impaired girl from New York, you know, could be sharing the stage with some of you from the South, and I don't think I ever knew that it would get to that place when I was little, but I knew that I wanted to do something for him. I knew that I wanted to sing. I knew that he had a message. I knew that he had a purpose. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, but to give you a future and a hope. And I knew that there was something he wanted to do with me and through me. And to see where he's taking me is humbling, very rewarding, and I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful because there was a time when I almost wasn't even here because of the situation that we grew up in. Mom almost made a decision early on.
Well, I did make a decision.
Yeah.
Sherry Ann was a scheduled abortion.
Was it really?
Yes, she was a scheduled abortion.
Wow.
And I only tell it because I want to tell the power of Christ. It isn't anything I'm proud to say. But when you came from the home that she was almost not born into, I had already had one child. And I didn't want to bring another child into that type of mess.
Right.
It was damaging. And so I thought, this cannot happen. In good conscience, I cannot bring another child into this. So she was scheduled. It was legal. It was legal at the time.
How close were you to when you
Oh,
decided not to?
Oh, I was going up the clinic steps.
My
I was
goodness.
going into the door.
What made you stop?
The Lord, now I know, was the Lord, but you have to remember, I was not saved. And so I thought he was the life taker. I didn't realize he was the life giver.
Right.
I knew nothing about him. As a matter of fact, I was angry at God, and my whole thing was, where's God when it hurts? So as I'm going up the stairs, I hear just something in my mind, which I know now was the Spirit of the living God, and said, don't do it. And like a robot, for no other reason, like a robot, I turned around, went home, endured, and gave birth to her. And of course, she was born that way. It was a congenital defect. But the Lord knew that, as she said. He had a plan to prosper her and not to harm her.
Exactly.
He knew that, and he brought her forth to take my imperfections and her imperfections to perfect the hearts of others.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know that. I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, what's next for y'all? Y'all are traveling, and now do you speak when you travel with her some?
Sometimes
Good.
we do scheduled women's events and things and workshops, and I have a lot to offer hurting people. And I always have this wonderful slogan, wounded people wound people.
Right. Wow. I like that. Wounded people wound people. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So true. So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, the best way to call you or email you, or how's the best
Email
way?
office@sherryann.com or visit sherryann.com. Or you can call. I can hear on the phone, but I do prefer email. That's always easier. And of course, nowadays, it's very easy on social media. I'm on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all those things. So there's many different ways. sherryann.com is the best way.
Excellent. And for you too, Sharon, if somebody wants to get a hold of you?
Yes, they can get a
Teresa?
hold of me, Sharon@sherryann.com.
Excellent. I like that. It makes
We
it
try
easy.
to make it real easy
That
for
makes it
people.
easy.
And, you know, we are going out more in the next year doing women's events and all kinds of things like that. So we're available.
Yeah. When's the next time y'all are going to be down this way? Any idea? Of course,
yes.
Pigeon Forge, you'll be at National Quartet.
And then we like to
Which is
come down and do a
close.
little Christmas tour around here. So we hope to come back down in December again.
Excellent. Now, last time y'all were here, y'all drove, I think, and then went to Florida after you left us here?
No, we
What was it?
started in New York and drove all the way down to Alabama and ended up in Tennessee and then drove back home.
All right, I knew
and
it
did
was
a tour.
something crazy like that.
Yes, yeah.
And so I asked your mother when I saw her earlier, I said, did y'all drive again? She goes, no, we flew.
I like driving. She likes flying.
Yeah.
So.
So where all have you been traveling to? You've been to West Coast yet, or?
Yeah, we've been up to Canada. I've been up to Canada for a TV show up there. And thank you again for having me here.
Oh, no problem.
Always
It's
a
my
pleasure to
pleasure.
visit your station. But yeah, I've been up to Canada and Iowa for a women's retreat. This year we're going down to Texas for, actually in February, we're going to Texas for a women's retreat.
Wow.
And like I said, the past year we've done Alabama and Maryland, and of course that's all on the East Coast. But yeah, we've been making our way out to the West slowly, and now that Texas is coming, we'll be booking a tour out west, on the way.
Yeah, that's awesome. I
So,
know.
yeah.
I had a group on here one time, and they went to Barrow, however you pronounce it, Alaska, and they did a concert up there. And I think that's like one of the most northern cities in Alaska. And I thought, Southern Gospel's alive in Alaska. Yeah. So, but I want to thank y'all for being here again. It's
Thank
been
you
a
again.
pleasure. And in case you missed anything, you can always go to our website or email us here. But check out sherryann.com. 4 albums out now.
Yes.
Tell us, we just got, how many minutes? We got like 2 minutes, 1 minute left before we go to a song. How many songs on this album did you write? A lot of them? Or?
Oh, actually, on the last 3 projects, I wrote 1 song on each of
On
them.
each album.
So there's a good mixture of original and some cover songs, and then on each album for the last 3, one of my originals.
Awesome, awesome. So I want to thank y'all for taking time to speak with us and sharing your wonderful voice with us tonight.
Thank you.
And it's been great. But Josh Ball's going to sing a song for us, and then Sherry Ann's going to sing. So don't go anywhere. We got lots and lots and lots of music left in this program.
I need to breathe you in. I need to drink you in. I need to feel your love. And all that I do, I need you more than anything. I need the power of your name to raise me up again, to make me sing again. Lord, I turn to you. I need you running through my veins. I need you more than I can say. My life depends on you. I know you're strong enough to pull me through, no matter what life brings. I'll always keep my eyes fixed on you. I am fixed on you. Yeah, yeah. You have called me your friends, and you have brought me in, yes, to a brand new life. And I said goodbye to all that pain. I'm not going back again. Oh no, no, Lord, I'm with you, and I'll never run away. I need you running through my veins. I need you more than I can say. My life depends on you. I know you're strong enough to pull me through, no matter what life brings. I'll always keep my eyes fixed on you. I am fixed on you. Then until that day when you call my name, I will praise. 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 I praise your name. No, Jesus, my life depends